Imagine walking across a desert. Imagine walking across a desert where there's scorching hot sand burning the bottom of your feet, feeling like rocks of fire. You're walking and you've been traveling for distances. You've been traveling for miles, miles and miles and miles. There are streams of perspiration running down your arms, back, face, and the sun is beaming. The sun is blinding your vision, but you continue to travel. You continue to move on. Now I want you to step back and take a snapshot of what you see. Take a snapshot of yourself. Go out from a distance now and look down, go up above and look down on you. See that little speck out from a distance, which is you. And how far you've been traveling. How many miles have you had to consider have you walked? What's the distance that you've traveled? I'm Marlene Foster with Empower the Vision today, and we're going to talk about the 1 second transformation. On the journey that you're traveling across peaks of sand. What are you thinking about? What thoughts come to your mind? What kind of urges? When you think of a 1 second transformation, it's nothing more than that peak of passion that hits. When that peak of passion hit you, do you think about water, family, customers, employees, or self-care? And when you think of in business, there are huge corporations that you may be in the same industry with, but your passion, your uniqueness is what it takes to supersede those who you feel are actually more at a more competitive advantage, but they're not. Think about it. Even if that person is, better in one area, you have to show how you differ in another. For instance, everybody loves that great tale of tortoise in the hare, right? Tortoise in the hare. When you think about tortoise, steadfast, got out and he just crawled, didn't he? He took his time, he didn't rush, but tortoise had this uniqueness of what? Perseverance. He had perseverance and resilience. Hare probably sat back and went and had lunch, kicked back and took a nap and went and visited people throughout the other animals throughout the forest because he didn't see tortoise as any type of a challenge for him. He just didn't see it because he thought he was faster. So when you look at your business, you look at what you do each day, look at that spark, look at the 1 second transformation that this has taken place in your life. That 1 second, that innovative moment that caused you, that urged you, the fire that you walk through to get through what you're doing today, that uniqueness that occurred. Think about that uniqueness. And today I'm asking you at the end, I want you to tell me your 1 second transformation. Tell me yours. Tell me that 1 second transformation and how it led to what? A long-term transformation. So you've always been told never consider short term, right? I want to tell you today, think about short term and how short term can be balanced with long term. Hello, David Hanson, and thank you for joining me today. Glad to see you. Now, again, when you look at, let's say if you're on a track, right? You're a runner, because I've actually been a runner. You're running, and there's some long-legged females and long-legged males who are running track, and you already know how victorious they've been. You already know. But one thing you got to keep in mind also is your attitude. Your attitude. Just like Maya Angelou always said, she always said, if you don't like something, change it. Change it. If you don't know, if you can't change it, change your attitude. Change your attitude and you can soar. Now, I was reading an article this week written by Michael Hill. Okay, and Michael deals with drones. Drones, and he told me that his daughter was the one who inspired him. His daughter inspired him to pursue what he's doing. He's a pilot. Michael told me that his adventure to pursue a pilot's license came about because of the passion he has for Bessie Coleman. And Bessie Coleman, I love Bessie myself because of what her victory was not easy. Her 1 second transformation came when her brothers were fighting in World War One. They were fighting in France, and they came back, told her they saw female pilots over there, and they laughed and teased with her and said, "Bessie, you'll never be able to do what they're doing. You'll never be able to fly because you know in the United States they would never allow you to even learn, to even get your pilot's license." Being a woman of color and being a female anyway, she wasn't allowed to do that. So Bessie decided to learn French. She learned. She took the time to learn French. Her 1 second transformation that sparked that passion to that desire to get a pilot's license encouraged her to do what? Learn French. And then she had sponsors who helped her to get to Paris. And while there, she became the first woman of color to receive her pilot's license. She also became an international pilot, and she started to participate in numerous shows, guys. She was involved in events overseas in France, and then she came back to the United States. And she became involved in a lot of the different events here in the United States. I deeply admire her. Bessie Coleman is a phenomenal woman, phenomenal. And I want to tell you that she inspires me, and as Michael Hill said, she inspired him. He's a pilot today. He has his license, and I just want to say, be inspired, go get it, and also inspire others. That's why we have to empower ourselves, and we have to empower others. We all know Amelia Earhart, right? Amelia Earhart wrote books, she wrote quotes, and she got out there and soared. She was the first female to cross what? The Atlantic Ocean. Amelia didn't let, she also led women's rights. And I wanted to just stop here and tell you with Bessie Coleman that Bessie actually was practicing. He was in the air with one of her pilots, and she fell from the aircraft a distance, got to her death. So she was passionate about flying, and she died flying. So I just want to stop right there and say that to you. But getting back to Amelia Earhart, passion as well. She was involved in women's rights. She created organizations. She encouraged women flyers. She encouraged people to fly in general. Men loved Amelia. Amelia left here, I think it was the first week of in July. Left here to go on her final mission that she didn't return from. Amelia was looking to take a national flight, guys, around the world. She was looking to fly around the world and was going to do it solo. The Amelia was incredible. You hear me? Incredible. Today, and for years they felt that they could never find out if she died or crashed. They really thought she was dead, and now they're saying that they may have found her remains. We still don't know. We don't know what has occurred. But one thing we know is the courageousness, the bravery that Amelia had. We know the legacy that she left. We know the legacy that Bessie Coleman left, and you too, as a business owner, your legacy can be left. So when you're traveling across the desert, those footprints that you see, and again, when you go and that snapshot that I told you to take, that's looking at the footsteps that you are taking, those deep embedded footsteps as you travel across the sand. Those footsteps that are heading over the hills and far away, those footsteps are showing how David Hanson, how all of us, Marlene Foster, how all of us, David, and how Michael Hill, all of us have started from ground zero and soared. So don't forget, when you envision again travel across that desert, don't forget to take that snapshot showing your passion, showing the miles and miles and miles and miles and miles of steps, showing how you've traveled, showing your journey. Inspire yourself. Be proud of yourself. Be proud. My own 1 second transformation occurred during the pandemic. The pandemic occurred prior to the pandemic. Okay, I actually traveled a lot. I traveled to speak with customers about businesses, about protection, how they could protect themselves from if you were in a business and you had a partnership of some type, and if one of the partners decided to leave, to leave the business, then you now can will be able to stay, stay on board and still, move forward, move forward, move forward, and keep going. Okay. So, what I'm saying to you today is this: just remember, though, don't give up on your vision. Don't give up on that. So, I didn't give up. But what I'm saying to you is that being out of town and flying, I flew a lot, and I drove. Also, I drove, back and forth, from Memphis to different to New York. I was driving some of every new to St. Louis where I was flying. And afterwards, I started a podcast, and that's how I met David Hanson. I met Michael Hill. I met them while traveling. Actually traveling my vision. And I want you to think about what I said previously about the sand. Think about how I traveled miles and miles and miles and miles and miles, and how that vision soon came there for me. Okay, I started off again with the podcast, which I'd never done before. I interviewed during the Great Resignation, and as you know, during the Great Resignation, there were periods when people had lost their jobs, didn't they? Right? I spoke with David Hanson, talked with him. Some people were terminated, and some terminated themselves because of lack of support, from the company. So they decided that they were going to leave. The Great Resignation happened. It was global. I had never seen anything, I don't know about you, that happened not only just in the United States, but around the world. There were businesses, people that were coming on. I was interviewing them, and we talked about their 1 second transformation, guys, where they where they had come from, and now where they were getting ready to start from and turn into something different. So I'm saying to you that victory doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't. But short term most definitely does lead to a long term mission. And I want you tell me again about yourselves. What is it that you've accomplished? What have you done? I wanted to just take the next few minutes to talk about in my life. My parents separated when we lived in Chicago. And the separation led to my mom and my two sisters and I having to move in with my aunt, my great aunt. My mom then turned around and took on the role of the leadership. She was the one who had to go out, get a job, and her job, guys, was to work at a currency exchange. That exchange was all the way downtown. And guess what time she got off from work every day? The nighttime hour. My mother had to take a bus, ride that bus to work, and then come home around midnight, guys. Midnight is when my mother got off, actually made it home. And each night, my aunt was so nervous because she was afraid that something would happen to my mom because the streets of Chicago was dangerous. There was danger there, dangerous, guys. And so, but we, as small children, we never thought anything more than that mom will be showing up soon. And she did. She came, she showed up. My mother was a fighter, guys. And that 1 minute transformation for her was this, that she knew that she had to do what? Take care of her three daughters. And so that's what she did. She started to work. She walked, blocks to get home each night, and she kept safe. And I'm grateful today for my mom. I'm grateful for her vision, and I'm grateful also for how she inspired me and my sisters today. I'm grateful to that. And I wanted to say to you, and I'm grateful also that you're here with me today. I'm going to be here with you today. We're going to do 20 minutes today on this live stream, but I want you to please go into the comment section, write down your 1 second transformation. I want you to visualize again the snapshot you've taken, seeing yourself, that the different steps that you've traveled, the steps across the desert. Whatever part of the country you want to go to where there's a desert, do that. And think about the steps. Think about how what urged you to persist, to move on the way you did. Again, was it family? Are you looking to protect family? Did you do it for yourself? Did you do it for customers? Did you do it for employees? What was it that caused you? Is it illness? I have a book that's coming up, from the 500 moments of discomfort um, challenge that I have starting in 2024. And in that book, it's going to talk about, again, the 1 second transformation that many people took in their stories. What happened there, how they stayed focused, how they stayed brave. Bravery is what you're going to see in these stories. Bravery. And I know all of you are brave because you're still with me today. And I still see so many of you, and I've watched so many people growing. Again, like David Hanson's here with me. I've seen David grow, and I've seen so many of you grow, and I've seen myself grow as well. So take the short term, take that passion. Don't worry about competitors again, because your uniqueness is what will help you to soar. So stay unique, right? Remember that. Okay, and like I said, and I don't know, David Hanson again, and I talked about Michael. Michael deals with drones, and we've got so many different ways that we're using drones now. People over in, I think, Japan or in China, they're doing it. It's like it's almost like the Jetsons, sort of transportation purposes. They even use it for students. So drones are really becoming empowering. So stay focused today. And again, I want to invite you on Thursday. Come also with me on Thursday. I'm coming back on Thursday to talk about credibility. Credibility has your back. Join me and come back also next Tuesday. And let's continue to empower one another, and let's continue to move forward. And I want to tell you to please enjoy an empowering day. Don't forget now to add to the comment section about your 1 second transformation and how it led to your long-term vision that you have today. Thank you, David, and thank you, everybody, for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you Thursday and next Tuesday. Have a great day.